What's up, guys? We're back doing another stream. This is kind of a late night stream. We're hanging out on the early morning of 4th of July. And don't mind me if my hair looks a little damp. I just got out of the shower, washed off a long, hard day, and figured I'd sit here, being I don't have any place to be tomorrow other than here. Uh, I figured I'd go ahead and get this harness pretty much finished and wire it up how it needs to be wired up. And we're going to go ahead and show you what I'm going to use to wire it up. I'm using this GEP fuse block. We're going to use two 20-amp fuses that you take the little fuses here. We're using two 20-amp ones. They'll be fused ignition sources. So that'll give me a total of like 40 amps of fusible power, which one 20-amp relay would honestly power this engine with no problem. 40 amps would be plenty to power this and a fuel pump. But we're not using a fuel pump in this. We're using the factory relay to the truck to fuse the fuel pump. So basically what I have to do now is go through this and find all of these pink wires, find out what they do. I already know this one does nothing, so I'm going to go ahead and remove it using one of my pen tools that I don't have out. I'm going to go ahead and use this one. It's got this fine little point on it. It works pretty good, but I'm going to get rid of this pin that's got no use at this point. Out it goes. And then I have this ground over here. So basically, I'm getting rid of all these, so it just minimizes my confusion. And yeah, these take the same pins, ironically, as what's in this plug here. So honestly, some of these I could depin, and unfortunately, they won't have a grommet on them. I can put a little silicone behind them, and they'll seal up just fine. But where I can cut them off and put ends, I have a whole container from Waytech full of pins for this. So yeah, that's our fuel pump relay right there. So a lot of these wires will be depinned and then repinned. So what we're going to go do now is figure out injectors and which, like the MAF wire, the O2 wires, all that stuff. We're going to figure out what they are in these pink wires, and then we'll kind of combine them all together. How I want to fuse them. I want to do odds and even injectors. So injector bank 1, injector bank 2, put a 7.5 amp fuse on both of those, and then do math, TCM, or not TCM, no, not TCM, but TAC module, power, and some other things. I don't really know what this blue wire does going into this plug, so I'm gonna have to figure out which one it is and what it does because it comes from the TAC module. So we'll have to figure that one out. But for right now, I'm gonna go ahead and go over here, do continuity. Find me the map. Probably. Yes, sure. It had power. We'll go our T's, but I wanted to do that. Where is all? Here, sure. That's got to be the longest wire out of this setup. So the pink wire is that thin. And the unfortunate event, I didn't bring my back probing kit or my fine probes. So I'm just going to chop that off. This pen here. And we're going to start probing. Major. Yep, does work. Oh, that's so scary. Okay, so that one right there. This one right here is the mass airflow sensor, which is that one right there. All right. So that one's gonna need to be repinned. So that is our math, which is this pin. No, so that doesn't have to go ahead and put this back on uh our math connection. Which the math connection seems messed up, but we'll worry about that when we get there. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab my tape, and then I will label this. Label. Math. This is like kind of here, so I don't have much wire room. Mass airflow sensor, so math. And now we can go ahead and probe the next thing. I don't know if we're on the same link. Hold on, let me find it. Let me over here. Don't mind me. Hanging out. Gotta find the connection. So the O2s are on the same connection, the same pin. They're probably combined back here. That's that pin right there. I'm sure both these O2s are in ones. I don't know if I've said that what we're using in this fuse block. We'll have two key relays that will split the circuits up, and then we'll have 8 fuses for each thing. We'll have odds and even injectors, and then we will have oh, like O2s, math. Like the O2s and the math normally could be on the same circuit. LT1 swap's got a good deal. You could, if you want to put every single one of these pink wires on a circuit, you could do bank 1, bank 2, O2 sensors if you wanted to. I don't really see any reason to do it that way, but O2s, math. So we'll start. We just basically will work through all these pink wires and get them to work. Like I said, the O2s, I'm gonna do one fuse for them. They don't need a bunch of fuses for each. I mean, it is an option you could do, but that's up to you. All right, now the fun thing's finding the injectors, especially these, is 100% sure how this is laid out. The other side. Okay, up here. So that's fine. That side. I don't know if that back road's good enough or not. Say no. I'm gonna say we must not have got in there deep enough. So we'll pop the cap off. If I would remember to bring my damn deal, we could have been all right. All right, so we know this one is at least odds. Maybe. We'll see if it does keep the one next to it. Okay. Go ahead and stick our pin in there. Maybe run the back way. What's happening? What's happening? Stop. Oh, that's backed up. So now we should still have power there. We have to put this cover back on. Give the new back. I will clear across and stop. Yeah, these are these two injectors. So, oops. Pass injector. So those are yes, passenger injectors because that comes around to the. Oh yeah, hey, what's up, man? Yep, doing part two, getting the fuse block wired up. Anyways, trying to figure out what all of the pink power wires go to because I don't remember off the top of my head. I could look at the schematic, but it's honestly faster for me to just do continuity check. How's everything going with you? Hope everything's good. Right now, I'm just trying to figure out what injectors are what. That was pretty easy. Now, yeah, yeah, getting cold there. You can send a little bit of that cold to me. It's been up close to 100 here the last couple days, and I'm tired of it. I'll take a little bit of cold right now. All right, so then the last two passenger side injectors. Which technically, most of your stuff is right hand drive. So this would technically be the driver side injectors for you. So I believe their GM's goes, I think it's bank two with GM. I think the passenger side injectors is bank two, and the driver side injectors from the US way is bank one, I believe. Okay. Yeah, all those will be put together and then put on one fuse. And I bet the other side's these two right here. Put money on it. That these are the other side injectors. I got to find it up here. Which the wiring is so dirty I can't even see it. Got that one. I bet you this one also. No. Okay. This one. Where's the other? Where's the other? Right here. Bet you this injector. It's that. Yep. And then bet you this injector. And then this injector. Perfect. And they even ohm out good, so that's always a plus. Pull this tab. Nice. Got these, and conveniently, thanks to GM's infinite wisdom, they have the starter wire ran right between them. That's fun. You know, always fun. Oh, and they have the ground too that was wrapped in there. That was nice. Nice of them. All right. These four wires are the driver's side injectors. So now we only have a few. We should have tack module power, which I have no idea where it gets its fuse from. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and move some stuff off the booklet. Actually, I can pull stuff up here. We'll do it this way. We'll just use this computer. Even though it probably won't be a big fan of doing multiple things at once. Actually, it's loading stuff pretty snappy, so that's a plus. I changed my microphone setup too, and we got a much better microphone than that headset, so we have an actual microphone over there. I'm hoping it's sounding good. Okay. Wiring modification information. 9907 Vortex. We need okay, good deal. Good deal. Always nice to be able to be heard, especially if you're doing a live. All right. Schematics for low free cut harness. Fuse block and two wiring information. Okay. Taking a little bit to download this PDF file. There we go. So we should have a trans, coils, and math in the O2. I believe we'll have the TAC module power. So you gotta find the transmission plug, wherever it may be. Actually, we'll do the coils right now. That's perfect. There's the pink wire, and I think this one. That's red. That's the pink wire up there around the corner. That's the passenger side coil. Why am I using that? I didn't pin. I don't pin yet. Lord, you can tell it's late in the evening for me. But I need this harness done the day after tomorrow, and tomorrow's the 4th here. So we're having our 4th of July celebrations. So I really don't have much time to do it other than right now. So it don't have to be perfect because a lot of this needs to be kind of configured to how it is when it's in the truck. So we'll have that. But if I get a chance, I'll do some filming on the truck to post later. So you guys can see what it looks like. All right. So we have the passenger coil. And now we got to find the driver coil. Right here. And then the pink pin in the corner. Where's it? Oh, let's see what's okay. They changed the colors on it. I mean, that be pink, I guess. A little off colored, but should be correct. I figured it was going to be that thin. Too, that's the sad thing. Yeah, true. Yeah, yeah. I'm just happy I get a day off from work. That's pretty nice. That tape, piece of tape, did not need to be near that size. Driver coils. Well, coil. We got the driver's coil, passenger coil, and we only have a few more things plugged in here. This should be a ground, or which we can use in our fuse block for the relays. Be perfect for that. For our first ground. Absolutely. Yep, that is a ground. Who would believe it? Yeah, early weekend. Yep, it is indeed an early weekend. I'm happy. I even left work today a little bit early. That was nice. Actually, I'm by myself this weekend. The rest of the family's gone. They're having themselves a little vacation with their family, so kids are gone. I got the house to myself, just me and the dog here. So one of these wires, ridiculously long, tack wire. Then we have transmission power. Which is clear back here. There's two pink wires for transmission. That one. Oh my. Multimeter shut itself off. Okay. So that one by itself. And then this one here. I believe. That should be that. Maybe. That's a pink wire, but that doesn't mean it goes to fuse block. Okay, so that's transmission power, right? Yep. I will try to enjoy the peace and quiet anyways. I kind of wish I would have a little bit more time to spend at my shop other than helping my nephew, but it's good to help family, so and I enjoy doing LS swaps, so when I get a chance to do it, I tend to take it, so trans power. Okay. So then I have this pink wire. I don't know what it's for. So we have injectors, fans, O2, math coil, and TAC module. We'll see you when we get back. Or when you get back. Gonna go ahead and guess that this is that. We have this for the TAC module and the blue wire. I have to figure out what it is for. So we got TAC power. Then I need to figure out what A10 is. F9. That's not right. Well, controller. Our data starting evap header pressure switch. Charging volume. Electronic throttle control. A9 is pink, which is power. C115. That's power control. Hmm. Well, alrighty then. Really? If I fold the container out, though, let me fold it. So that would be pin what? Pin 6. No, pin 6. Okay, cool. Cool. Trying to figure out this wire that goes into this block comes from the TAC module, which is the throttle control module. I'm not finding out what it is. I know it's pin 6 on the TAC module, but every schematic that I look through does not use a pin 606. Light blue. The rework is to make this is a 5.3 liter LS motor harness. We're trying to get it to run semi standalone in a 97 Suburban, which would have had a 5.7 liter small block Chevy in it. So just a regular old iron small block. So we're trying to convert it over to get a more modern engine in it with much better fuel injection, but maintain his transmission and transfer case that's in the truck currently. I'm confused with that. Is that tee off in there somewhere? So we got dark blue, light blue. So that's the supply voltage for. Okay. So apparently in 2003, this gets its voltage for the cruise control from the underhood fuse block, I guess. Which we can just go ahead and add that to the cruise control wires. Perfect. Now we have all those, and we can wire that into his factory cruise control selector on the column. And if we get everything wired correctly, it should work. We should have cruise control. The funny thing is, I've worked on enough 80s GM stuff that they have not changed the wiring color on their cruise control in many, many, many years. Because these are the same colors that my 84 Trans Am uses and my 83 Chevy truck. They use, well, actually, my column's a 90 Blazer column, but they use the same color wires as this 03 does. So I'd like to know if, like, an 07 and newer stuff, if GM uses these wire for their cruise control. I'm sure you get up into the newer, like, 14s and stuff. I'm sure it's all CAN bus controlled, all data over wire. So I'm gonna grab me a drink real quick. Okay, this is finally free. No more fuse block chunk. They can go over there and go back in the tote. Okay, now the fun part, figuring out where I want to put everything. So let's take all of our pink wires and our grounds, stretch them out nice, and we're going to find the shortest one and go for it. This is our shortest one. It is the evap. So I need to cut it off and repin it. Then shut that off. All right. Which that can be, we'll put the evap with, we'll do, put that with the transmission. The transmission and tach module. That sounds good enough. So we got odds and even injectors, coils. That'd be 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we could put the evap on its own fuse, I guess. It might as well be on its own fuse. Why not? Yeah, I'm sure. I wouldn't be surprised if they don't use the same color schematic over there. But well, the newer Holden stuff probably is CAN bus controlled too, because I think GM got a lot of their CAN communications from Holden actually. GM learned a lot from Holden when they bought them, so mostly good stuff too, which is nice. Okay, go ahead, bust out my crimp tools, and then go ahead and open this bag of parts. Here's what 80, like $5 of US dollars will get you. A bunch of pins and a bunch of little rubber grommets for said pins. Good news is this will do way more than what I'm doing here, so which I have a couple more harnesses to do of my own, so And I have a couple more of these little fuse blocks, so that'll be handy to be able to do those. Okay, what size is this wire? 20 gauge. Why am I not surprised? All right, where's 20 gauge? 20 to 22 gauge. Plus 20. Yeah, I don't know where to get these pens in Australia. I'm assuming there should be a supplier for them. This company here, I get them from Waytech. They're actually uh, one state to the north of me, so I got them. I paid for regular shipping. Yeah, really price. Yeah, I paid for shipping, normal shipping, and they got here in a day. They like shipped out at like 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and I got them at like 12 o'clock the next day. So I was really happy. All right, now I have to find the corresponding grommet. That's 18 to 16. They're all color coded. It's the orange one. Nice. Use that. Right. This one actually got sizes on it. Yeah. 20 to 24. How did it give you the hang on it? Pretty. Yeah, that didn't crimp at all. That one crimped good. Yeah, that was nice. Now we'll go ahead and crimp the steel. Look at that. Now we can go ahead and pop these little covers off of here. I don't have a little flat screwdriver. Okay, or a big flat screwdriver. It's a high performance screwdriver. It's got flames on it. Don't fall off there. Okay. So we'll go ahead. Hope these fit and work. What pins are these? Ah, I just spent $80 on a whole batch of pins that I can't use. I bought GT 280 pins, which are different than regular 280 pins. Well, that's handy. Well, I'm gonna have to go order the correct ones of those, but I'm gonna have to make these work. The ones that I currently have on there. So we'll go ahead and cut this off. But it stinks. can use. So I have pins for this. Yeah, yeah, it's always fun. So I guess we're just gonna go ahead and solder and splice in a bunch of pins. Yay! I don't even think that them gaskets are even right. Yeah. So all my grommets are wrong, but the good news is the GT. No, I don't think them will work for me. Oh, yay. Well, now I'll have to look into buying some GT 280 connectors so I can at least use some of my pens that I like. I'm gonna go ahead and quickly run to their website and locate the correct wires. Products, terminals, pin terminal. No, wrong terminal block of the breaker. Terminals. Connector. Metropack 280. I didn't need GT 280. I needed Metropack 280. Yeah. Yay me. We'll go through and add. Here we want female terminals. And the fun part is, are these tanged? I believe these are tanged connections. That conveniently have them have the pictures all upside down. Yeah. And then look like that's it. They're more expensive. Obviously, the ones I would need would definitely be more expensive. That makes sense. Okay. They are, oh Lord, they're kind of pricey. For 50 of them, they're $16. And they have 33, almost 34,000 of them in stock. Nice. Why are them so? I'm confused. Why are those more expensive? Yeah, that always stinks when you order the correct part and receive the wrong one. This order here with these pens was totally on me. That was my mistake. So I can buy 2,000 of these one connectors, and it will cost me $140. I don't need 2,000 of them. Give me 100 of those. That's $14 for those. That's not bad. And what one's They tell me blue, green. They don't tell me what size of wire they fit. Why? 12-gauge wire. Yes, so that's 12-gauge with that wire. Okay, we'll put that in there. I like how every single one of the factory, well, I guess the bigger ones are 10 gauge, or they're a black one. What's green fit? 16 to 18 gauge. Okay. Always fun to watch somebody order the right parts because they order the wrong ones. Oh, yeah, the order was wrong. Yeah, I love getting other people's parts. It's fun. This one. So I got those, the 12 to 10 gauge and the 20 to 18 gauge. Do they not make a 16? Yeah, here we go. I'm assuming this is it if they don't label. Yeah, 20, that's 20 to 22 gauge. I don't want 20 to 22 gauge. I want 14 to 12 gauge, which is right here. Why is that not on the other page? Lord. Lord help us all. We got green, blue. Oh, already up to $77 on this order. $20 to 18 gauge. Let's made the one to the 20 to 18 gauge. Bet you it's this one, right? Yes, used with 22 to 20 gauge. And it works with 280 mesh. So the good news is my Polaris is used the same thing. A lot of 280 connections. So that's a plus. Yeah, they're Delphi connections, but there's a company that bought them out, and it's Aptiv, APTIV is who bought them out. I like Delphi better. I can remember that spelling. Oh, $88. And ironically, it does not say, but I think the total was close to $85. So they're just slightly more expensive than the ones I got the first round, which are wrong. So we could do this the fun way and just utilize some random pins in here. 5 amp fuse, 5 amp fuses, a 10 amp fuse. Why didn't I bring my container of fuses over here from my shop? What was I thinking? I got 20 amp fuse, 15 amp fuse. Yay. The sad part is I have these at work if I really wanted to get pins and then replace them, but I guess we're just gonna play heat shrink and solder things. Fun! Fun, fun. Best, well, I'm on the stand. Best plug my soldering iron in and get it all heated up. Grab a paper towel. Use that to wick up the excess solder. Got the solder out already. Perfect. So, being the evap, we'll put the evap with. I kind of want the evap on its own fuse, though. So we'll go ahead and put the evap on its own fuse. Then we'll put the rest of the stuff. Okay. Thanks for the support and checking in. Much appreciated. Thanks. I will try to keep up the good work. We'll see how it goes. I wish I would have brought my little stand that holds my wires. I did not. Not hot enough to not solder yet. Now I get to do the fun part. Pointing the fan away from me, just to keep the smoke out of my face. All right. I know that's probably real fun to see the fan, but I hate reading the solder smoke in, so it's not real good on you. All right. So I need. So what's the face of this? This way. So 220 fuses there. So all right. So that pin is evap. I like to put that tape back on that, so I at least know what it is still. All right, so I got evap, tack, and transmission power can go on the same. Okay, I need to find pinions. Ironically, like I said earlier, these pins that come out of the block will fit in the new fuse block, but they're not sealed attachments. So, you know, that back there. So, yeah, put those in. More than that we need. Okay. The only thing that is kind of semi boring about these live streams is I normally build harnesses like this with some sort of music playing. I don't have any music playing. What was that? Oh, don't think that long. There we go. Yes, I know. You should use a sponge to clean your soldering tip, but I have found a blue shop rag or shop towel does just as good a job. All right. So then this would be transmissiones and trans and tack module. Our next pins can be we got coils, so we got driver side injectors, passenger side injectors, so those will be two there. Then we'll have the math coils twos. So we end up having 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I put the math with the O2s, and I put like the coils will be on, well, the coils will be on one fuse, math and the O2s, the injectors. So it'll be three pins. The wire gets back some. And we can that all be like that. Oh crap. Whoops, I can't do that. This one might require a bit, yes, it might require a little bit larger. Now my look at those, should have went slightly bigger with heat shrink than that too, apparently. Was apparently that's not enough either. Should have brought my other strippers. I did. My better strippers. Much better. Hate to say it, but these Matco strippers are nicer than the snap-on ones I have. It's clustering. Well, these wires to solder together. I like that at all. But we'll see. What are we at? Yeah. Pump it up to the ocean. So we got that soldered. And I'm sure it's gonna be hot. It's not real bad, I guess. This pen's not tab's not down far enough. There we go. That shouldn't be too bad. There we go. I'm going to put my new piece of tape on that, all that. Driver injectors. Because that's what it is. The driver's injectors. So now you will find both of the passenger injectors. Yep. Hopefully we can get this soldered. Wish that would have pulled in there a little better than it did. But you know, sometimes it just that don't work. And it's a little warm, but not bad. That doesn't drop back up a little bit because these are ease pins and I push them down. Okay. Perfect. Got that done. We can go right next to the passenger side injectors. Okay, label it. Passenger injectors. Then we'll have coils, Maffino tubes. Both the coils. And then we'll take a slightly bigger trig tubing. I don't require a very big wire. Black, white strips. Twisted. All right. Like my soldering gun off again. Ooh, likes to fall down in there. All right. Make sure it's not too hot before you slide your heat shrink back over it because you don't want heat shrink shrinking halfway up the harness. And you should use a heat gun, not a blowtorch or a torch to melt your heat shrink tubing. Do as I say, not as I do. Perfect. That's perfect. We're going to use all of the fuses in this fuse block. These two top fuses here will be two 20-amp fuses for the two key-on relays that this is going to have. So, which honestly, I don't even need. Honestly, I don't even need the. I only need one relay, really, because we're gonna have two 7.5 amp circuits there. We can do a 20-amp main for the relay and a 20-amp circuit should, because we're not running the fuel pump relay. We're not running the fuel pump relay. We're not running fans. We're not running any of that stuff. So literally, that's just going to be the O2 stuff. So we'll have one 20-amp fuse that powers the whole key-on circuit for this, which we will wire up here shortly. We can use this ground for the ground on the relay, which is no diagram. Bang. 30. 387. I guess we can do it that way. It's basically the same as this one. None of them have a diagram. Well, that's handy. Handy, handy, handy. Yes, I cross my legs in my chair. What is it? I like to set Indian style sometimes. All right. Who's back here? Okay. All right. So we will need a ground on 1085, which you can set it in here like this. 1080. So 1085 is right here in the bottom corner. There was a straight black wire. It do. By George. By George, we do. We have a smaller wire here. I was going to do two key relays, but like I said, I don't think I'm going to have to worry about it. That'll allow me to have enough space for my uh, battery because there needs to be a key on, fused key on for the computer, with a straight battery power for the. Perfect. Yes. Perfect. All the ball solder off. Yeah, this one I could have slipped in there. Slipped right in there, but port is sealed. So might as well keep it sealed. Once again, 80. $85. That corner there. Need to put some more tab up on that. Look that down too far. Right. What is your problem? Still not enough? We'll make it enough. There we go. Had that nice firm positive click. Oh no! Ah, it's 2 o'clock and I didn't log into my game. Dang it. Log into my game real quick here. Also didn't check my Snapchat that I got a while ago. Oops. Oh, it did take my login. Oh, I did log in. Oh yeah, I logged in this morning. Phew! Thank goodness of that. I logged in this morning because my truth agreement, or my truce, yeah, truce agreement was gone, so I had to get that back. All right. But some of my daily stuff there. Oh yeah, so check that Snapchat real quick. Okay. So then we need a wire. This key wire, which is pink. Need a random pink wire. I don't know how long it needs to be, so we'll use this one. So it's not as long. This will be our key power. I don't have very heavy power wires. Tell you one thing. The wire they used in this block isn't as good as GM's wire, I'll tell you that much. GM's wire is heavier, much, much heavier. We have been streaming for hour, almost hour and a half. It is now 2 o'clock in the morning. We got our fuse, our relay in here, and our key feeds up like this. You can read it. NB86, which is directly above that. So catty corner from it. Okay, this will be P. Speed power. Powers going to power up the relay, which will power up the whole entire circuit. We'll have our 20 amp fuse above it for it. Then we'll have our PCM battery fuse above that. Which are these wires here, which come back down this road. Okay. So guys, got the end of this. This should be the only battery power that's this computer needs. The rest is keyed on circuits. Keyed on sites. That you purple wire blend. That would be this heavy, but we have a bunch this heavy, so we'll use that instead. I'm gonna have to take that other fuse block I have apart though, because I'm gonna need some more pins. That came out to be an excellent solder connection right there. I'm proud of that one. Okay. Go load. And these tab pulled out too. Help if I put the pin in the right direction. There we go. Now, that's be our battery for our unit. We have two purples, which we can strip and solder together. Which is going to be a pain in the anus because I have to use a piece of heat shrink that will slide over. Or use a butt connector. But I didn't bring any butt. That will fit, please. Heck, let's go over the river. Right there. Awesome. Awesome. Very good. Very good. Very good. You are a suspect. Very good. Very good. If you know what that's off of, you're good. You're good people. It's a shame that if you do know what that was off of, it's a shame that I've only watched a few episodes of that TV show, but I know it's good because of the few episodes that I watched. So 87 would be 30's up there, so 87's down. Yeah. Down. Yeah. Shit. It doesn't matter, but I want that 30 because that's it. Coming from our main power fuse. So we're gonna want that to be on at 30. Would be up in this corner. And then conveniently swoop around and connect in this literally right above itself. I don't like that. I don't like that tall. That works. It's gonna work anyways. Not a big fan of that, but it works. So now that I don't have the purple coming out of here, that will go to all of our key fuses. Now I gotta find a relatively heavy wire to put on this, which I don't have. I'll have to just grab a chunk from a shop or something. So, yeah, that has to be soldered to the heavy wire. Those are two. Gonna be two battery powers, two battery powers. Then we'll have all. We're gonna do our math and our O2s together. They go down in the bottom section. The good news is once I get everything where it's gonna go, well, I also have two key on wires that go to my computer. I'm not real sure how these they both they both ran different ways. Get rid of that, but yeah. So yeah, you probably sure you ran this way over and then I think you probably ran this way. Half O2 and CM. You're going to be really fun. Yeah, wait, more than ample wire in this one. We what, 5 wires in this? Oh, just what I wanted. 5 wires. Thank you. Drop it. Drop it. Rubbish. It's rubbish. Throw it out. Slightly bigger piece of trunk. This. Do a new movie. It's called Honey, I Shrunk He Shrunk. Just kidding. That would be very pathetic. It might be great. Who knows? People are so weird nowadays. They probably enjoy it. Okay. Now we're saw there. This yeah, like so. 310 maybe. Ooh, whoa, solder in that bad boy. Ooh, solder. Did glue softer on that one. Dry or cooled off all nice, shiny light. Okay, there. Heat shrink it. That'd be our key. O2s and the key PCNs. I always put the pen in upside down. It never fails. Okay. Never fails. So these two pins here, go out and go to battery, uh, your wire. This one goes out to all of our fuses, which is real fun. Like, I put them PCN fuses separately. Dang it. But that means one less wire we have to run together. These two would be positive battery. I gotta turn into the other one I have to get everything together. But I think that ends a bit off, way too short. But probably did. Relays out the deal. 20 amp, 5 amps, a 10 amp, and a 15 amp. Using my hot rod screwdriver here to pop off all these tabs. Then I'll go through with this. Get a solid. Another assortment of pins. Got those out. Got more pins again. I'm gonna go ahead and put this one back together pretty much. Put the juice tab on here. I really wish I would have got the correct pins. That really irritates me now that I have a bunch of GT 280 pins instead of having regular Metro Pack pins. That really does irritate me a lot. But we are getting close to getting this completed. So now we just need to get all of our pins in. It'll be a tube here, which will be battery power. I have no idea how I'm gonna hook every one of them coming out of that relay together. That's gonna be real fun. This will be battery fused or not fused. This will go to the battery. And come up here to the bus. So those will come out to go to battery. I do need some of these, 4 of these. I end up with 5 somehow. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 wires that need to go into 8. And they all conveniently are going to be purple. That's all I have. That one's the longest, so you get it here. Now, where I go, there's the have to be some additional wiring added to that. If it's just not all together. Where's the is? Okay, that wire's too short. I'll get out. We're going to pull that one out. Couple longer ones like this. It's really swell. Shorter ones can work right there. They don't need to be as long. It's short too. Any more long ones like that? This one long? It's that one. Those two are long ones. This one is not. Maybe. Why is it not? Let's say, what's this deal? Everybody's another long one. Oh, this will be such a but there. I don't know why that's such a pain, but those all need to be soldered together to another pin. So in theory, take this and split all these wires. It's not going to be a full task. These all, if I can get it to work, now and like so, and never be able to be removed. That's a certainty. Those are the same length. Get it up and then never get lost. And I don't have 275 745 connectors. So these all hook together. All of them will hook together. So these will come over and hook together here somehow real quick. And then I'll get me some longer wire that'll loop over a couple of those. But I need to put this other lock in. It's easier said than done, especially when you got wiring that runs all different directions. Let's do this in here. Ugh. All right, so we'll go ahead and put that on there. So now these two go to battery. So they'll be soldered together with a big or is that are hooked to a bigger wire. Will go to the battery. This will be a 20 amp fuse, and we will have our relay here. This one goes to all these all these purple wires come together, but I don't really want to do something like that because that's kind of tacky. So kind of tacky. Like I said, those go to battery. These all go together. I think that's the ECM on this by default is a 10 uh 10 amp fluge. Coils. So that's a 15 amp fuse for the injectors. Or the coils. The coils are here. Which don't actually shouldn't have to be a 15 amp, but it's gonna be. And the ones below it are what? The map. Map. Son of a bitch. How did that not get in there? This is what yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to come back in this line of wires here. Snip. Snip them. And just add these two in their own little pod together. You know? Is that the proper way to do it? No. Is it going to work? Yes. All this does is really just trigger the inside of the PCM to be on anyways, so the power train control module. All right. Get on down there. Okay. That's still, man, is that pissed me off that I missed that wire. But now they're all put together, so that's doesn't matter. they are now going to function. And those are your O2s in math and PCM, so they can get a 15 amp fuse. Them are driver coils, yeah, those are driver injectors, passenger injectors. Those can both have a 5 amp fuse. Right. We got two 5 amp fuses, and then what we got down here, we have back and power trans. Bottom one, they can get a 10 amp fuse. And then the next one is evap. They can have a 10 amp fuse also. They could actually have probably a 5, but we'll give it a 10 amp. And then we have two fuses up there not used, and then we'll have another. Oh, it didn't fuse 10 amp, but it can have a 20 amp fuse. I guess it doesn't need one, but we'll give it one. Yeah, two 5 amp fuses. Them could actually be 7.5s. Yes, all these purple wires here need to be together somehow. The plan is to put these together, put these two together, bring them together, solder them together, and then take two wires off that, solder these four together somehow, and make a jumbo mess of crap on that. But that's pretty much all we can get accomplished this evening without having some more wiring to do so. So I have to get some more wiring. I'm gonna make my nephew a nice little fuse diagram of what everything is. So he'll be able to know what's what, which will be kind of important. So all right. Now that the PCM switched powers are on, still thought there was more than one battery connected on that. Must not be. Positive battery. Positive battery. Ignition. On off battery. Basically. Okay. So yeah, like I said, be able to take some of the wires uh, out of the harness. Or not take them out of the harness, but get this all nicely tidied up. When I get everything figured out, get these wires here all hooked together, and put this up to one bigger wire that's going to run right to the battery. So, or at least run to the factory fuse block under the hood, because that'll be plenty enough for that. So, soldering iron. Okay. Good. Clean that off. Yeah, it does get kind of toasty sometimes. You gotta be careful. But yeah, so yeah, this is key on power. So we'll find a key on while in crank and key power. So they will at least work. So they'll start run. This will be all cruise control stuff. So we should be pretty close to zip tie or not zip tie and tighten these wires up. That pinched me. God dang. I don't know how I must have stuck my hair in there, ripped hair out. But dang. I had to clean all them up so they can be plugged in the computer. I need to bench flash as PCM, but don't have it. Wish I'd have grabbed it the other day. I should have. So I still have to repin his and redo his plug for his transmission. So let's go ahead and do that because that requires me to repin a couple of pins in the deal. Okay, so apparently, okay, so I'm kind of confused here. Why can I can't read any of the labels because you're so dirty. So they want you to get rid of Q and O aren't used. Really just kind of. So So you move the white wire here in location. These are kind of difficult to unpin. They're essentially the same as the PCM pins, but getting down to the little clip. There. So we removed S in the tan and black wire and T. In the tan and black wire T. This one here. Oh shit, I got poked all over that rubber. I can't get down in there. Pull that little cavity plug back. What I got there again. So apparently that one ain't gonna work. So let's try this theme rippers down there because I think that was time. Yeah, got it that time. So I got the white and tan wire out of there. Okay. And now we need to move the brown wire in location U to the S location where we was a previous wire. So there should be empty T and U cavity. Let me find the S. Yeah. So move in location U to S. So when you're done, there will be no wires. That's all those. These are some of the biggest pain in the ass pins I've ever dealt with. I'll tell you that. That's ridiculous. Okay, so we pulled that out of pin U. We need to put it S, which is right here. Yes. Put it S. Okay, so now I have this thing here, which goes in, yeah, locks everything back in. I need to put a little silicone in there, but I actually have little cavity plugs that I can put in those two holes. I just have to grab them. These two wires now will get moved out on the transmission. So for LEDE, we'll need input turbine speed. 2 extra wires will be used. Purple white directly up to the round breaking tool drive. Application. The new speed input speed shifter side of the LED. Complete the wiring change, transmission annually, the PCM connector, and repurpose the white and the tan and black wire to input speed. White wire can be found on C1 pin 69. Blue connector, pin 69. Excuse me? Pin 79. Yep, right there. We'll get these pinned in the right location anyways. Okay, so we got pin 79. Maybe. So we got pin 79 with the white. And then tan black wire is found on the green connector, pin 42, and moves to the green connector. Okay, so we need to go to the green connector on this one. Maybe not, what is my white wire here? And so the first one moves to the green pin 22. Of course it does. Why wouldn't it? On the connector that's got the numbers that are completely hard to read. So yes, pin 22, which does not have anything in it. Pin 22 right there. Now if you just take your pin and you push, and you push, and you push, it will break through the seal there and go in. Blah blah. Like so. So now the tan and black wire I can found on the C2 pin 42. And 42 right here. Which of course is on this end of the PCM connector. There. I didn't have the cap off up. Yes, pin 42. Move to pin 23. Which ironically is right next to the other one. So now that we've got it, then we'll have to flash a 480 tune into the, maybe if I can get it in there, and reinsert it. There we go. Popping in now. There, now it's in. So now those are in where they're supposed to be for the 480. So now we just need to add an input or turbine speed sensor, which I saved off of the other harness. So wherever the transmission plug is at, right here, these two wires will be cut off and put onto the speed sensor. So those will just need to be modified. But yeah, that's pretty much all I can do for tonight. Literally all I have to do now is solder a speed sensor connector for the turbine input speed sensor on those two wires down there. And then all I have to do is hook this purple wire to all these somehow, and then these two can combine to one bigger wire going to the battery. So that's what we'll do there. Make a nice little fuse relay deal. This will go to starter. All the other wires will go to the factory. Their factory PCM wires will actually go to these plugs, and they'll be kind of together, and it should work. Hopefully, that's the goal, anyways. So, all right, guys. Think I'm gonna go ahead and call it a night because it is almost 3 o'clock in the morning, and yeah, we've been streaming for a little over 2 hours, so about 2 hours and 12 minutes. So we'll catch you guys in the next one. I hope you guys enjoyed this little stream. I'm kind of having fun making these. It's actually been pretty fun doing them. So catch you guys in the next one. If you liked it, go ahead and hit the like button. And if you're not subscribed already and like this kind of stuff, go ahead and subscribe. We'll catch you guys in the next one.